So I'm going to give you guys a chance to come into the chat while I let the world know that we're live. Welcome to Dr. Boyce TV. This is the home for intelligent Black people. This is where we do intelligent Black analysis and critical thinking, exercise our critical thinking skills about important issues. Our goal is not to be politically correct. We don't give a shit about being politically correct. All we want to do is we want to be correct, and that's more important than being politically correct. And so, welcome, welcome, welcome. As you come in, shout out the city that you're from. Shout out your city. I'm sharing this this link to our friends at blackenough.com. Black Enough is our social media platform that we built for Black people. Well, actually, we didn't build it. We just licensed it, actually, the technology, because we tried to build something on our own. And it just became a mess, and it was a waste of money. It was so bad. But either way, though, we do have Black Enough up, and I'll type the word into the chat so you guys can know where to go to blackenough.com if you want to get a relief from Facebook. Maybe try something a little different from Facebook, where you won't get banned just for being too Black and stuff like that. I see you guys are pouring in here already. What's going on, Nakia? Good to see you, Nakia. Nakia came to our event in Chicago, and it was wonderful to meet you in person, sister. Nayusiri and Beaming Bohemian and Andrew McGibbon and Compton Native Music. What's going on? Kevin King. You know what? And I was thinking about something. Okay, you mentioned Compton. Yeah, I got this video from a brother that lives out in LA who was actually telling me about his landlord kicking him out, like, for no reason, like literally just like he paid the rent and everything, and the landlord was like, somehow he evicted him illegally. I got to get the details of it, but he has video of him basically like stalking out the landlord. It's like some beautiful shit. It is sad because his landlord is Black. His name is Max, and let me see if I can find this video because he sends me stuff a lot. And I was checking this out, and it was like Max Jerome. That's what it is. Yeah, Max Jerome. And he basically was sending me video of him approaching his landlord and basically like be like, "What's up, man? Like, what the fuck you? Like I paid you the money, like the money, So I don't know. I'm gonna find out more and let you know more about it. But I think his story is worth telling. Okay, so all right, so here's what I wanted to kind of address a little bit. This was on my mind, so whatever God puts in my brain to address that day, I just like to talk about it. Y'all know we hit on anything that's Black on this channel. Sometimes we hit things that are Black and financial, but we don't. This is not a purely financial channel. If you want to do purely financial stuff, go to theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's where we do a daily financial analysis. Theblackfinancialchannel.com. Okay, so here's the thing. I was thinking, for some reason, Cardi B popped across my screen where I saw where Cardi was getting an award from MTV, one of those, music awards, video awards, whatever the hell it was. And it kind of got me a little bit. And the reason is not because I hate Cardi B. I mean, I see the talent. I think she's very talented. And I don't really have a problem with somebody doing well in the music industry. I think it's fine. But it still burns me up a little bit that Cardi B actually had that video where she was confessing to drugging men and violating men. And does anybody remember that? Tell me if you remember that. Tell me if you remember when Cardi B made that video where she's cussing like yeah I did it, yeah I was drugging niggas and robbing niggas and setting niggas up with trannies, and yeah nigga you wake up with it. Like it was like some real shit. It was like some crazy ridiculous stuff. Anybody remember that? Tell me if you remember that. If you don't remember it, you just go look it up. It's unbelievable. The biggest artist in the world, and basically confessing to drugging men, robbing them, setting them up to be raped. Insane stuff. And it was interesting. Some people saw it for what it was. A lot of people said, well, this ain't right. Like if you're gonna fight against violence against women, then why would you be okay if that same violence was committed against men? And I think it was like a clear line of demarcation to kind of show you who's really in. We talk about Me Too movement and all that. Who's in it because they really want justice versus who's in it as a gender war, where it's like, you know, rape against women is only bad because it happened to a woman. But if it happens to a man, then shit, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Like, like whatever. Men need to be raped more because it would be like appropriate, right? Like there are people that really feel that way, and you know, and it kind of burns me up a little bit. In fact, that was the reason I like Dave Chappelle's new comedy gig he's got on Netflix. Y'all should check it out. It's called Sticks and Stones, and Dave Chappelle is the most prominent celebrity I've seen to date to go directly into and fly directly into the face of of political correct bullshit. Not even political correctness, because it ain't correct. You can't call it political correctness because you might want to call it political incorrectness or politicized bullying that has occurred where people tell you to believe certain things and to say certain things, and that certain words are banned, certain beliefs are banned, certain perspectives will get you blocked and banned, and it's infected the whole country. You know, sure, we've got the crazy MAGA hat wearing motherfuckers on the right. You know, y'all know who, we all know what it is. I mean, Trump, you know, brought out the white supremacists and made America into something worse than it's been in a while. And he flared up the infection, but a lot of that infection flare up was a direct response to a lot of bullying that was coming from people on the left. That was coming from a lot of intolerance coming from the left. You know, I became concerned about this years ago when I started hearing about speakers, you know, who didn't align with the left, who would go speak on a college campus, and the students would like block the person from even giving a fucking speech. Like you, the easiest way to show that you're a punk ass idiot who can't defend your point of view, who's living on a lie. The easiest way for me to identify you is when you will not even allow the other perspective to be heard, because that means you're intimidated by realities and facts and information that deviates or contradicts your preconceived belief. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, you know, I'm a scholar. I came from academia in the purest form, in the sense that, you know, in academia, when you're among the best academicians, I'm talking about the people that really are the smartest, most open-minded people. You're seen that as kind of weird and almost like a punk if you are afraid of other people's ideas. Like it would be crazy if I say, well, I believe that the origins of the universe started with the Big Bang and the blah, blah, blah. And somebody says, well, actually, I have data that shows something else. And I say, well, shut up. You can't talk. You have no right to talk. You need to leave my campus right now. No, that would make me look a little bit weird. Right. So basically, you know, you had the people on the left that really got extreme in their oppression of other points of view. You know, you might want to say that the Trumpians and the MAGA hat people, I mean, I ain't joining none of that shit, right? That they're un-American, that they're bad, they're filled with hate. Well, a lot of the hate is coming from the left. You know, I met a brother who went to Stanford, a young brother from Stanford, 20 years old, 21. And he had been falsely accused of rape by a white woman, and this was proven. This wasn't just his words. This was actually proven, where she accused him, and they let him off because it turned out that she had falsely accused other people. Of course, they always find that shit out after the fact. And he said he went to Stanford, and he was forced to on his door to put something up about what his pronouns are, or something like it's all gender. It's all about gender and who you're fucking. Like, are you fucking a man or a woman or a dog? Like, whatever, you know, like what are you having sex with? Like, all this stuff was like supposed to be laid out, and he was like, I don't want to do that. I'm just a guy who's going to Stanford. I like girls. Like, why do I have to put that on my? They're like, if you don't put your appropriate pronouns, then you'll be punished and you'll be blah blah blah. I'm like, God, that sounds like some Nazi stuff, right? And then he said he went to a Black Student Union meeting. And he thought, here I am, I'm around my people, you know, I get to tell my story about how traumatized I am and how hurt I am that I got falsely accused of rape, and all my white friends abandoned me. In fact, he told me, he said, when I was in high school, I never would have listened to people like you because I thought that racism was a thing in the past. And it wasn't until I was dating a white girl. He said, I was very popular. I had very good grades. I was a great athlete. And I was dating this white girl, and she falsely accused me of rape because it turned out that she was just out of her mind. She just, you know, had that thing, maybe like, I don't want daddy to think I'm a whore or whatever. It happens all the time. It happens on many occasions. And so So basically, he said that all his white friends abandoned him. Like all the good people he thought were his buds, his dudes, like they all his buds, like they all decided, like, yo, dude, you're a rapist, man, right? And so he was sharing this with the black students, and he said that he was told that because he has straight black male privilege, that he can't talk anymore at the meeting. That you have to stop talking because you got straight black male privilege. And he's like, "What the fuck is straight black male privilege? I didn't know that I had all this privilege as a straight black male." Because if you look at most of the statistics, black men are at the bottom of those statistics. So only a weirdo makes up fucking bullshit like that. It's all stupid. And I'm sorry, get mad at me, hate me, it's fine. It's totally cool. It's totally cool to get the fuck out. Like I'm okay with that. Is that this man just did something that was braver than almost any celebrity I've ever seen in Hollywood. Very few celebrities have that bravery. I don't think Kevin Hart could have done it. I don't think Eddie Murphy could have done it. These are great comedians now, by the way, very good. I don't even know if Chris Rock could have done it. I mean, and Chris Rock has gone really, he's gone pretty hard. Yeah, Chappelle's skit was pretty impressive. Let me see. Thank you, Darnell, for your donation. I appreciate it. Love you, Doctor. Thanks for your courage and honesty, giving a damn about your community. I support you 100%. Well, thank you, man. I support you too. And thank you, Cat Jam. Cat Jam says, you're the truth. I appreciate your support. And Karen Prim, thank you very much for supporting the platform. I appreciate it. If you guys want to be patrons of Intelligent Black Media, we reach 1 million Black people a week. Our goal is to get to 2 million by the end of the year. So if you want to support Intelligent Black Media, the growth, we reinvest everything. When you guys see us running ads and pushing the message and traveling around the world, that's where your money's going. So if you want to support this, you can feel free to join our League of Intelligent Black People at intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. All right, so hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Now, here's the thing about Cardi B. Quick notes, because I asked people about it on my Instagram, which is the Real Boyce Watkins. That's my Instagram, the Real Boyce Watkins. And I basically just said, I was stunned that MTV gave her this award, despite the fact that, she's kind of a female Bill Cosby. She went and basically, confessed to drugging men so she could violate them. Whether she robbed them or set them up for rape, it depended. And some people, came back and were saying, well, you can't compare robbery to rape. And I'm like, well, why can't I? Women who violate men don't usually rape them, because if a woman wants to have sex, like all she got to do is just drop her drawers and say I'm available, and she's gonna have all the sex she wants. So sex is not typically something a woman is going to steal from you. Every now and then it can happen. Every now and then you get a woman that will engage in that aggressive kind of behavior. But most of the time, women ain't thinking about how can I get some dick today? I don't know. I can't figure that out, right? Seriously, it's not that hard. If a woman just didn't care and was ready to have sex with anybody, there'll be 100 men lined up out the door in 20 minutes, right? So a woman isn't going to rape a man. A woman might rape his pockets, though, or she might rape him in some other way. She might violate him in some other way. And what I think that we got to stop doing is acting like men can't be violated too, the way women can feel violated. These men that went through that experience with Cardi, I'm sure that they felt very bad after it was over with. Now, should we judge them for even being in the strip club or cheating on their wives or girlfriends? If that was going on, what was going on, you can do that. But remember, we have a society where we have decided we can't judge people when they get violated. And I agree with that. If I'm walking around with a pocket full of money in a dark alley, you could tell me that I'm stupid for being in the dark alley with a pocket full of money, that I should have, carried a gun, or I should have stayed out of the alley altogether. But that doesn't mean I'm not a victim of robbery, right? If I get robbed, I got robbed. If I got violated, I got violated. So you have to have a separate conversation about violation prevention versus accepting first and foremost that I did not deserve it, that I did not deserve that to happen to me. So these men who were victims of Cardi B and other people like her, just so you know, just fellas, in case you don't know, there are thousands of women like this. Cardi did you a huge favor by telling you about the underbelly of the stripper world. She revealed something publicly that isn't really talked about, because everybody wants to believe men are always the predators and women are always the victims. Women are not soft little powder puffs that are always victimized by men. That's a false narrative that you're fed. No, sometimes your ass is the victim. In many cases, I mean, do you know how many stories I've heard about? I'm talking about strippers running game. I mean, major game. I kid you not. I think that the strippers in many cases are some of the most interesting and intelligent and strategic motherfuckers you'll ever meet. Like you really, I don't go to strip clubs a lot, so don't even put that shit on me. You will not catch me up in strip clubs, but I did go to one time for a bachelor party. I had to go to a relative's bachelor party, and I had to look out for him. I was the best man, so I just went wherever he went. I just followed behind, make sure nothing bad happened. So I had a chance to kind of see that world, and I noticed, and so you know me, I'm nerdy. So I was talking to the stripper like wow, you're really athletic. Like how did you learn how to do the splits like that and do cartwheels and hang from the ceiling? You know, and she told me she was in gymnastics. Like she had a really strong body. Like she was like she could have played a sport, and also I could really tell they were very intelligent. Most of them seem to be good people, but remember, you know, you're talking about people that dance and do things for money. Like they manipulate men for money. Like that's their job. Like how do you get money out of this man's pockets, right? So what you figure out what he likes, how he moves, how he operates. So if you take that skill and you convert, I'm talking about Cardi now, and you add in like trauma. Like let's say that this is also a woman who's been extremely traumatized, you know, as a child, traumatized by men, abused, mistreated, you know, raped, whatever the case may be. You get in many cases a temptation to use that power for evil rather than good. So maybe there are some strippers who just, you know, shake their ass for you, you know, or maybe even you might even go back to the VIP room and do whatever y'all do, whatever. I don't know. I don't know the whole culture, but whatever. I'm not even judging, right? And it's all good. But then you've got those who say, wait a minute, there's more here. There's more that I can get. I can get revenge. I can get even more money, whatever, and they deserve it. These are low life motherfuckers anyway who deserve it. Like almost like how men, you ever hear like a man, imagine a man who violates women, who says, oh, she's a hoe, she deserves it anyway. Or like those guys that, you know, all those cases where you'll have a serial killer and they kill lots of prostitutes because deep down he's mad at his mother and he thinks all women are horrible whores, and you know what I mean, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, like that, right? So you can have women that have that same mindset that basically just looks at these men like, you deserve whatever I do to you, right? And so what basically occurs is like date rape drugs are used very heavily in that space. I heard a really interesting story about a system where they have these strippers that would basically use date rape drugs on athletes and celebrities, men who where they know these men where their weakness was like beautiful women, and they would give them a date rape drug. And when they went to sleep, they would they had a 15-year-old with them, and she had a fake ID, so no, she was 15. But they would put her in the bed and take pictures of this man in the bed with a 15-year-old. And then when the man woke up, they would say, give us $10,000 or we're going to send these pictures to your wife. We're going to send them to your team. We're going to also send them to the media. And then also we'll be sitting there, you know, they'll be sitting next to Gloria Allred crying like, oh, I was a victim. He's a terrible person, you know, whatever. Because people buy that last narrative, right? And when the whole time it was all a setup, right? So the point is like, you have this happening, and the reason that it festers and it continues is because nobody talks about it. That's why I'm talking about it to you right now. It's just to not just warn men, but to also say that this is out there, and nobody discusses this. So here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing, right? I when I talked about Cardi B and the fact that MTV gave her an award, which I think is just utterly fascinating, that Cardi B, who, you know, violated people the way Bill Cosby did, you never know, she could have violated more men than Bill Cosby violated women. One guy, somebody jumped out and said, well, Cardi B, you know, no victims ever came forward. No victims ever came forward. I said, okay, well, first of all, most of the victims of Cardi B, I imagine, are probably ashamed. I don't know. Fellas, if that happened to you, if you went and you decided you wanted to go have some fun and get with a pretty girl and do your damn thing, and you woke up and let's say she gave you a date rape drug, and you woke up and your booty hole was hurting and your wallet was empty, how many people would you tell? Who would you call your mom and or call your friends and your spouse, and like who would you call and inform of everything that you just went? Would you call the police? What would you do? What would you do? Wait, seriously, fellas, would you, yes or no? Would you call and tell everybody, or would you probably keep that to yourself? Would you keep that to yourself? Now, I'm not telling you what to do. Somebody said call this. Brian said, call the Second Amendment. He said I call the Second Amendment. That's funny. Well, first of all, let's just be clear. If you're smart, you just won't go in those situations. But I think a lot of men have been tricked by a big butt and a smile, right? But the point of the matter is to say that a lot of men are not gonna self-report. A lot of men are not gonna go out and tell everybody what happened to them. They're just not. So and so some would say, well, then that means that they deserve it or whatever. And I say, well, no, because remember when we talked about Cosby and said, why didn't all those Cosby victims, why did out of all these alleged victims that are coming out talking now, how come none of them filed a police report? There's nothing out there anywhere where they, took pictures or went and told, a bunch of friends and relatives, and they, many of them continue to be friends with Cosby, continue to go to his house, continue to brag to their friends that they knew him. Like, seriously, remember that? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like with the Cosby thing, the same argument was made. They said, why didn't you tell anybody? And they were like, well, because we were afraid, and because we were traumatized, and you have no right to tell us how we should respond to trauma. Well, if that works for a woman, then why can't that be applied to a man? Why can't they be applied to Cardi B's victims? And actually, there was one guy that did come out and say that he was a victim. I'm not mistaken. But either way, though, the fact that there are no victims who came out publicly does not mean that there were no victims. Also, I want to ask you this: what if there was a man, a very famous man? Let's say it was I don't know, Denzel Washington or something, and Denzel got mad one day and said, I drugged women and I took that pussy, or I took their money, or I did whatever. I would violate women. I just violated them however I felt like, and I would drug them and do this. Like, what if he went on Instagram and said all of that, right? And then somebody said, but there's no victims. Like, nobody's actually coming out saying he did that to them. That means we should ignore it. Like, do you think people would ignore it? Or do you think that people would consider a confession to mean something? Like, would a confession mean something? Yeah, I think it would. I think that a confession would certainly mean something. By the way, I want to say, stop recording and say thank you, Reader for Life, for your donation. I appreciate it. Thank you, Annie B. I see you. I think somebody else made a donation. I might have missed your name. I apologize for that. Terrence Blackstock, thank you for your support. I appreciate you as well. CTL Pro 1 from Houston with love. Yeah, Houston's where we're hosting the All Black National Convention. Karen Prim, thank you very much for your support. Cat Jam, I appreciate you as well. The All Black National Convention is going to be in Houston. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com to get your passes. I don't see there being any passes available at the door, so you don't want to get your stuff at the door. Get it in advance online. You should come to Houston. You're going to love it. Also, I'm doing an investment seminar in New York in October. So if you'd like to come out to that, it's going to be on the, I think on the west side, around Fifth Avenue, something like that, in Manhattan. So if you want to come out to that, go to drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. Hit the thumbs up button. All right. So here's the thing about the Cardi B thing. And now MTV can do what they want. Like, we're kind of used to white people ignoring black men. Like, they just don't, they don't care. They think that we're full of it. We're filled with toxic masculinity or whatever. And it's fine. It's our job as black men to defend black men. It's the black woman's job to defend black men. The black man's job to defend the black woman. It's not white people's job. They've never done that very well. And I don't look to them to do that now. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I brought out MTV and the Cardi B thing. A lot of times I'll bring up stuff not because I expect them to change their behavior. Like, I don't expect white people to ever stop being white. What I do is I bring it up to just make sure that it's brought up. I bring it up to make sure that it's at the forefront of our consciousness, so that when they start trying to ride the high horse and take the moral high ground, I can call the bullshit. I can say, no, actually, remember, you gave Cardi B an award for doing something that many people consider to be similar or almost equivalent to what Bill Cosby did. The only difference is that Bill Cosby never confessed. In Cosby's case, there's no evidence. Don't forget that. There was no evidence. There's nothing. It doesn't mean Cosby's an innocent guy. I'm not saying that at all. But you can't just think somebody's guilty and send them to jail, because if that's the case, then Cardi B would definitely be in jail, right? Because there's no, she said that she did it, right? So I'm going to believe Cardi before I believe anybody else in terms of what Cardi did, right? So they lose the moral high ground. They lose the moral high ground. And that's important because a lot of the liberal elite They like to ride a horse that says we're better than everyone else and we understand what's best for America and we think you're a bad person and we riding the, they're on the high horse just like, and we think that you're homophobic and you, sir, are a sexist and you are toxic masculinity and you don't know. No, you a rat ass piece of shit like everybody else who's filled with fucking double standards, and the same thing that you claim that other people are doing to women or gay people, and you're doing that to black people too. So stop that. Just stop it. Just quit. Seriously. Get off your high horse. You don't come to me with that bullshit. I see right through it. I can break it all down. I can point your hypocrisy out, and you can ignore me all day, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because if Cardi B was a black male who had gone on the internet and said that he used to drug and violate women, they would never have given her the award. Yes or no? I need a yes or no. Do you think that if Cardi B were a black male, instead of instead of this feminist icon that she's become, right? Because I guess that's the whole conversation, like she's a stripper hoe and everybody just want to be a hoe or whatever. Do you think that if Cardi B was a black male who gone on the internet and confessed to violating numerous women and after he drugged them, do you think that she would have gotten an award from MTV? No, she wouldn't. So that right there points out what I call the black male double standard. Everybody wants to put the black man in prison, including the Democratic Party. They didn't stand up for Quintez Cephas out in University of Wisconsin, who just had to fight for his life. Quintez won his case, but Quintez was taken off the football team after two white girls invited him in for a threesome, and they decided afterward that he must have raped them when they were the ones who wanted to do the threesome and were acting perfectly normal after the rape happened. I personally think that he should go. It's like football, right? So Quintez, if you're watching, if you got relatives watching, it's like football. After you finish playing defense, you play offense on them motherfuckers. Score some points. Take that ball down the field. Get them sent to jail. Go sue them. Sue that university. University of Wisconsin should be putting at least $5 million in your pocket. Those white women who falsely accuse you, or if they have been black or whoever they were, those false accusers, whoever they are, should be paying for the rest of their lives. You got the ball now, man. Like they let you go. Congratulations, you're free. But the black man needs to stop just playing defense. He needs to learn how to play offense. And I think that's another thing I liked about Dave Chappelle's, his Netflix special, was that he was really playing offense. Like he really called the bullshit for what it was. And I just thought it was incredibly brave. It was art. It was truly art. Because that's what artists are supposed to do. They're supposed to take chances. They're supposed to challenge society. They're not supposed to just sit there and be scared to say things just because we're living in some sort of era of oppression or McCarthyism, right? McCarthyism was an era where there were certain things you could and could not say, and there were fascists that wanted to control everybody's thinking, and smart people were able to see beyond that. So that's why I say that this is a channel for intelligent black people. So most people aren't going to get it, but I hope you guys get it. And even if you didn't agree with me, that's okay. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to disagree with me sometimes, and we're supposed to say, okay, let's just agree to disagree. It's okay to disagree, right? Because nobody has a monopoly on the truth. All right. So hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you want to get a text notification when I go live, just text the word Boyce to 31996. Text Boyce, BOYCE, to 31996. Don't forget, All Black National Convention next month in Houston. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. Vicky Dillon will be there. Dr. George C. Frazier will be there. Sharif Abdul Malik from We Buy Black will be there. Danielle Pierce will be there from Fly Nubian Queen. Nomalanga Mushala Moses. Lots of really great people will be there. I can't remember everybody's names. I got to go look back. D1, the rapper, he's going to be there. I don't know if you know D1. Willie D is another hip hop artist that'll be joining us. So we have a lot of great people there. A lot of great discussions. We're going to do business and finance on Friday. Saturday, we're going to do panels on love and relationships, politics, the women's panel, things like that. I'm going to show you how to turn your child into a millionaire. Julian Gordon, the real estate expert, is going to speak. but it's not just a business conference. It's a black conference. It's all black all the time and twice on Sundays. That's what we do. So if you are in that category, if you are a person who is black every day of the week and twice on Sundays, you will love the All Black National Convention. So get your ticket and come to Houston. Get you a discounted hotel room. Call the hotel. Tell them you're with us. You got to do it within the next week or so. Let them know you're with us. They'll give you a discount on your room, and we'll have a great time. If you want to fly to New York and you want to spend the weekend in New York, we'll be doing an all-day investment seminar in New York. You can go to drboycenewyork.com. That's going to be in October. I put video testimonials up on the channel of people that have gone through the seminar, and they all love it. And I want you guys to see those so you can kind of know what to expect. And it's really, really great for people that want to be around other like-minded black people who want to build, who want to invest. They form investment clubs. Everybody comes in. We give them a black business school portfolio, and they sit down and we take notes, and we just have a great time all day. It's an amazing experience. So feel free to join us. That's drboycenewyork.com, drboycenewyork.com. Okay, Geraldine says, I'll be in New York. Awesome, awesome. I can't wait to meet you in person. I will give you a big fat hug, and you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Peace.